Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 16th of the 3rd, and I'm here with my meeting, or our meeting, about our event on the Beach Fun Day, which will happen on the 2nd of May this year. We will be going through our details about the meeting with you, Karen and Dan. Sue Manda is expected later. So what I've got here is I've got a draft of the crib sheets for the day. So just give you one of those. Give one to you.
Thanks, Mike.
And I'll just go through it. So, to give an outline of the event that we are thinking about doing, as I said, it's scheduled for the 2nd of May. The location that we're thinking about doing it at is at Hale Surf Life Saving Club. We've been in contact with them, or Judy Duggan has, and it is £50 for the venue for the day. I'm still going to write up a costing sheet closer to the time. The event is planned to run from 10 AM through to 4 PM. And with hour-long activities and an hour's lunch break between 12 and 1 PM.
Is there any flexibility with the end time?
Yes.
Only because a lot of schools, we're going to need to get back to schools for them to get their buses back home. So when we do school events, generally the schools want them back on site by the end of school.
I'll make a note about that, please.
Yes, I mean, just to check.
Yeah, no, that's good, that's fine. That's what we're here for, because I want to sort of see how everyone feels and just sort of tie up the loose ends. Currently we're catering for about 4 classes, stretching across 4 individual schools. We're estimating a class size of plus minus 24 students and expecting attendance of roughly 100 secondary school students from the surrounding areas. The PR, or Sue Manda, offered to do the PR for this and arrange these things for us. So once she turns up, or if she doesn't, I'll still liaise with her, and I'll tell her that that's the expected amount that we'll have there. So it'll be roughly four buses.
Okay. Is Sue contacting the schools?
Yes,
yeah.
She said she would be.
Is she organising all of the school?
That's how she came across. It'd be nice to talk to her directly about it, though.
That's what it looked like in the...
It did, yeah.
And just from a surf instructor point of view, because I've seen on the bit that I'm surf instructing, are we hoping that I get to teach 100 students throughout the whole session?
No. So if we just jump to that really quickly.
If that's later on, you're going to talk about it later, that's fine.
Okay, yeah. I'll get around to it.
Yeah, no worries.
So just going through the activities we're going to do on the day. The planned activities will be tug of war, beach volleyball, beach football and sandcastle building, as well as individual group sessions. Now the individual group sessions... Hello. Hi. Yes, I'm Mike. So I hope you don't mind.
Yep, no.
Okay. So, okay, so welcome to the meeting. So we've just started the meeting. We were hoping to discuss the different things before, like a couple of things relating to Karen and to Dan. But here's an outline of the crib sheet which we've got for the day.
Yeah.
And
2nd of May.
yeah, so the rough outline of the event is the 2nd of May 2012. And the location we're doing it will be at the Hale Surf Life Saving Club.
Yeah.
We're expecting it, the costings around that, it's about £50 that it will be for the venue itself. The event will run from 10 AM through to 4 PM, but that is flexible, because I still need to talk with you about all the individual times the students will have to go back, that has been brought to my attention through the buses. The activities will be about an hour long with an hour's lunch break. We were about numbers. We were looking at about 4 classes from all 4 individual schools, with a class size of about plus minus 24 students.
Okay. So are we doing sort of secondary or primary?
Secondary would be ideal.
That's fine. So I was going to hold a surfing competition, but I'm not going to.
Well, that's-
getting money to do it. And I think the Cornish Schools one is on the 28th of April, I think, as well. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, a surfing competition is still quite viable, if that is something that you're thinking about.
For this event, I would say not.
No?
Well, we need to get judges. You need to get contest vests. You need to. It's a completely different kettle of fish than putting on a couple of surf lessons for people who fancy taking part in some surfing.
It's a whole day thing, this surf competition. This is more a bit like they do each one, don't they?
Yeah.
Around.
The idea that we had, if I go down, just move on to the activities, we planned on tug of war, beach volleyball, beach football, sandcastle building, but also individual group surf sessions. We've got Dan, who is one of our surf instructors, and he can take, six people or 8 people on the water?
The ratio is 8,
Mm.
but we have 6 surfboards here.
So six people on the water at a time per
Probably
surf
get some
instructor.
extra surfboards.
Okay. Yeah,
That-
I
that's-
don't take 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we borrowed some, didn't we? Last year.
Yeah, we could, if we wanted to, we could possibly look at, if we wanted to increase the number of people taking part in surfing, if we've got enough equipment for it, is look at getting lifeguarded people, because there's no national government body with surfing at the moment.
Right.
To run a surf session, all you need is your NARS lifeguard. I mean, I've got my Australian surf instructors, and I can look after the whole, the group of people, but in terms of ratios in the water,
Mm-hmm.
we could have, I don't know, maybe up to 15 a session, if we had maybe me and 2 others,
Mm-hmm.
remembering it's school kids because we don't want to do the ratios too big, but that might be something we look at. I'm just thinking with those numbers, and only 6 in the water, there's only going to be a small minority that get wet during the day.
Yeah, well that's,
Something
My
like that.
son's like cardio actually, because I know he's back by then.
oh that's great.
James also said as well that he would help out with that as well.
Because the original idea we had was that we've got all the sessions planned throughout the day, that you and Jamie would take shifts, that you'd have 6 in the water almost all the time, but not the same instructor all the time. So you'd be able to take one group, and then Jamie could take a group, and then you take a group, as another option, instead of having everyone in the water at the same time. So that the surfing is an ongoing thing, but that you have ample breaks so that you don't get too tired if it's a case of...
Well, I mean, in all fairness, we'd have to have a look at the day. I'm just going from last year, and there was an issue about finishing kind of 2:30,
Okay.
time for people to be back for school buses. And it would be a kick-off about, 10, half 10.
Mm-hmm.
10. So you've got 2 45-minute sessions in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and possibly a 45-minute session or a 2 45-minute sessions in the afternoon. That's doable. It's tiring, but we could do it.
Okay.
Just on a school sort of thing, obviously, for them just to plan for the whole day to be out is ideal, and like, obviously they get to school, start lessons at 10 to 8, quarter to 9. So really, you could, I suppose by the time they've got their changed, because that takes quite a long time, doesn't it?
Could actually start
Well,
at 10 by the time
yeah.
they've
Yeah.
kitted up and
Mm.
Yeah.
chatted.
I mean, obviously the football, the volleyball, that can just kick off.
Yeah.
It's just like the surf,
So
isn't it?
it took a bit longer, didn't it?
Yeah, with all the shenanigans. And also, who are you aiming, who are you targeting? Are you targeting like those that aren't sort of sporty minded? Is that your sort of target group? I'm just wondering, and what age group as well? Did you say 24 from a school of 900 kids? Just wondering where are we sort of, have you got any sort of
I don't know how
specific-
picky you could be with it. I mean, can we just be that specific, or we want to say, well, these type of people we want, these type of people we don't want?
We could, just a little bit more of a guide to be, is it those people that wouldn't have not competed? Because I think last year we did that. Those who haven't competed in anything for their school this year,
Mm-hmm.
basically, we get the PE teachers to sort of,
I think ideally it would be nice to, this event is we're looking mainly at fun.
Yeah.
So it's not, not looking at a really competitive level. There will,
So that's a sort of target group.
yeah, we're looking at more fun, so more novice to maybe, if they've surfed a bit, that's fine. But it's not a case of wanting to get in the water, and
Yeah.
they're not going to be competing, they're just
Okay.
going to be having actual surf sessions for the fun of it. If I want to move on quickly to the point of going on to equipment itself, we need the participants from the individual group surf sessions to provide their own wetsuits, either hired or personally for the event themselves.
Yeah.
So that would be a criteria,
Okay.
because we can't provide those wetsuits.
I could actually, we have got some at school.
And
Especially
also
if we're in-
trainers to go in the water.
We advise adequate footwear to be worn, wetsuit boots, as well as appropriate wetsuits. We advise 5mm because it's still quite cold right now, but that's up to their own discretion. Then we'll get to the lecturers to oversee that. And they're also required to bring their own towels and warm clothes, and they'd need to bring their a packed lunch or money for lunch as well. Which
No.
with the health and safety as well in wetsuits, giving it out is quite.
We might have to have a look at whether we can hire through the set. I'm just thinking of ease for the school.
Yeah.
If they're saying to mums and dads,
Okay.
we've also got to hire a wetsuit.
Okay.
No, don't worry about wetsuits, because
Okay.
I'm sure we've got wetsuits at our school. Don't know how many, but obviously Cornwall Council are pretty good, and they lent us some last year as well. So we could just, unless for instance they've got something major on that day for that. But we're talking, what, 10 at a time?
Yeah.
10. I mean, obviously I know you have to have more than exercises and stuff.
Now the equipment list which we as the organisers will get hold of ourselves is a volleyball net, the football, tug of war rope, 6 surfboards, because that's what we have at the Marine School, and multiple cones for actually mapping out the play areas. Just to give it another quick highlight into the actual events themselves, we're thinking of 6-a-side football, 6-a-side volleyball, and with it being across 4 individual schools to have a knockout competition for each event, that you'd have a semi-final between 2 of the schools, and then they'll go into a final. That each half or each event would roughly 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So then the final will be 10 minutes itself. So you're looking at half an hour to 45 minutes, leaving 15 minutes to actually set up for the next events. Move on to the actual stakeholders quickly. The currently confirmed stakeholders for the event is the Falmouth Marine School and Free Riders Surf Shop here in Falmouth. I asked Keith to be here today, but he said he might not make it. He hasn't done, so I'll just inform him later. The FMS will provide student ambassadors for the event, right, Karen? Yeah, and as well as undertake the PR necessary to organise and fund professional photographers for the event for local newspapers.
Oh, yeah. I'll be the photographer.
Well, there you go then.
You'll have to let me know nearer the time once you've got numbers, how many student ambassadors we want to work.
Would you also be able to, you and Sue be able to liaise with all the legal things around actually taking pictures of students and stuff like that? Okay, thank you. Right. It's the senior staff member in charge of the FMS's involvement with Karen Williams and can be contacted by calling the front desk at the Falmouth Marine School. Is that everything? Are you okay with all that, Karen? Yeah. Free Riders Surf Shop will be attending the event and setting up a stall to promote their merchandise. Which is fair enough. Keith, the owner of Free Riders, has offered prizes for the individual events. That's his stake in it. So it's like shirts, hats, whatever Keith puts forward, just as a as a prize. I don't know if I'd need to tell him it'd need to be a prize for the group instead of a prize for.
It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'll discuss that with him.
One t-shirt. Well done.
Exactly,
Okay, so we've got one t-shirt.
But
how they work, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. But
stickers probably would be the
it's
Stickers for everyone, and then maybe
stickers.
sportsmanship or...
Yeah, but I'll discuss it in more detail with Keith beforehand. And you can be contacted by the number provided. The safety cover for the event is covered by Hale Surf Life Saving Club. We're gonna, according to Julie, she said that Julie Duggan is in contact with them. The lady who's not present right now said that you could sort us out with life saving cover, as well as, but that's more down your line, Dan. So because you will be the one of the seniors on the water with taking the students in the water, I'd like to have you as the main point of contact for me to know how much lifesaving cover I'm going to have to need.
I would like some kind of written confirmation that
Okay.
Hale Surf Lifesaving Club are going to cover first aid.
Okay.
Because if they don't, that's a major concern. Because
Okay.
if you've got 100 pupils, I can call them students, 100 pupils down the beach, someone's going to stub their toe, someone's going to twist an ankle.
I mean, you know, whenever we've done a surfing event,
Yeah.
I've contacted the RNLI and they're pretty good. They'll send an extra person and they'll have, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what we're talking May, there'll be someone at the hut there
Okay.
as well.
Mm.
They
Yeah.
do like to just make sure they've got an extra person than they would have normally.
Mhm.
Right.
But, you know, if you want me to...
I'm just
Yeah,
thinking
that'd be
if I
really
do a
good.
surf lesson and, you know, then he falls over and twists his knee.
That'll be really good. As well as listing, you know, all the first aiders will be listed on site on the day and be provided, so that people, if something like that was to happen, that there be a means of contacting them either by VHF or by mobile phones. I mean, I'm a qualified first aider. Is your first aid qualifications? Yeah. So Jamie's a qualified first aider.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there will be a fair amount of first aiders.
Yeah.
But it's more just about after I've given you all the numbers, like details of how much we've got, if you could provide me with, in your opinion, as a senior,
Yeah.
how many first aiders would you reckon I'd need to provide you for you to feel secure?
Okay, fine. As I say, I think we'll liaise with Hale Surf Club on
Okay.
that, and let them, you know, kind
I know last year they just sort of gave us the keys and that was it.
They kind of hung out, didn't they, in the background?
Yeah, because the students had their first aid.
Mm.
I think all the first years helped
Yeah.
last year.
And it would be nice if I could, if once you've assigned student ambassadors to the day, to let me know if they've got their first aid and any other kind of qualifications regarding health and safety and security of the
I think
students.
first aid's covered there. Everyone's got it. I steer away from it myself.
Yeah, we'll always find over
Just
plastic.
another one, just to quickly mention about Hale Surf Lifesaving Club. Last year, it's a bit of an issue. You can't park in front of them.
Mm.
Right? There's this lady that gets very agitated. Obviously, you can probably just drive down, unload, and then go.
Mhm.
But she got very agitated last year, didn't
We
she?
should do, there is a car park at the back.
Yeah.
I think it's about £2 a day.
Yeah, there is.
And by the
there's
bluff.
there's the pub car park, and there's the one at the back.
So possibly look at or call the pub and see if we can involve them, possibly in some way or form.
They've got, no, because the only way you get your money back on that is you have to pay your money, and then if you go and eat in the pub, then you get your money back. I think the best bit is just use the car park at the back, it's £2 a day.
Okay.
That's just take it on the chin type thing.
All right.
I don't know if the school needs to be notified for their
Yeah,
minibuses
well,
and that, but
Mhm.
And just remind them there's no ticket.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So moving on to the actual legal documentation revolving around the event.
I didn't pay on the way out,
Don't
did
do.
So I paid twice.
I wonder if that's still the same or if it's changed this year.
I've done risk assessments for the beach fun day itself, as well as the surf session, which I've showed you.
Thank you.
I've got my EAP ready as well, emergency action plan, if anything actually goes wrong. The NOP is still I'm still producing an NOP. The reason was because I'd like to get names of all the volunteers and the staff involved, ideally as soon as possible, so I can draw up the NOP and then I'll go through that whole list. Yeah, as I mentioned, the event organisers is me, Julie and Hannah. We're all second year marine sports science students here at the marine school, the organisers ourselves. And if you need to get in touch with any of the organisers, you can either call me on the number I provided, which is fine, I give consent with that, or email me on the email, and I'll be in touch as soon as possible. Is there anything else that I haven't covered?
I'm just looking from Karen and South Sue. I don't know if there's any budget, being a mere lecturer, I just get given the units to deliver, and I got told there wasn't any budget for this one, but I didn't know if there was anything we could dip into for hire surfboards or wetsuits or...
No, we haven't got any budget either.
No.
There's nobody
No,
anywhere these
no.
days. But, you know, the higher the surfboards and wetsuits, hopefully we won't have to pay for those.
Okay. Because Tyson, I think, got involved last year.
Tyson, yeah, well, he would want some money.
Yeah.
But we can do it through the core leisure team,
Okay.
and they're pretty good. Plus the fact that they were going to run my surf competition and let me down.
Oh,
So I've
right.
got it.
I'm happy. Okay.
Okay, so for a continuation,
Use that one.
for a continuation for the next meeting, as a group of organisers, once I can get hold of Julie again to actually come sit down with us as a group, is to look into actual funding for the car park, for the hiring of the site on the day, and to also look at or try and get hold of the names and the details of all the staff involved, and get you a list of all the people with first aid and lifeguard cover.
And if people are going to, well, we need to plan this surfing. Last year we had Glenn Eldridge down there and him doing his kayak, his outrigger stuff. And you're saying it clashes with dates with him at the moment, so you can't do it.
Yeah, that was quite good, wasn't it?
It was really good. It was a pain in the arse dragging those things down, but but it was great once you're in them. The other issue, have you checked the tides?
I thought I have. It's low tide. No, it's high tide, 3:45.
Oh, so
Well, on the Friday it's 3:45, so just a little bit earlier. Later.
Yeah.
So hang on. So when
It's high tide at 3:45 on the Friday.
so it would be around 1:45 on the Wednesday,
I don't know if it's
Which
high or
which
high
would
low.
cover possibly some
Um,
of your pitches,
yeah.
which you might want to have a look into.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like spring or whatever tide.
No, I'll okay. So we'll look into the actual, as a whole package, the weather on the day, the forecasts, as well as the tides, and if it is an issue, we'll deal with it.
But at the moment, there's no beach there, is there, when it's high tide?
No.
Nothing at all. But they are quite high from here.
But you might want to check out how the tides are and what happens, because as I say, it's just sod's law, and you just plan it to death, and all of a sudden your football pitch now looks like a swimming pool. So that might be something.
Could put on a different, yeah.
But in the morning, do you know what I mean? You could do a lot of the beach activities in the morning, or maybe looking at water activities in the afternoon, something of that description. Maybe
Yeah, everyone could do volleyball and football in the morning, tug of war. So is there anything else?
No.
Just thinking if it's if that is the case and it's high, is there anything else we can do now for the morning? Or do we just get everyone in the
Everyone
in the afternoon?
everyone's
Everyone
surfing
in
in
for
the
a
afternoon. Well, we can do, because what we could do is I could do a tag team contest, and it's quite a nice little format, because it works as a as kind of a competitive thing, but then you have kind of circles which they have to stand in, and you have one board per team, and they have half an hour, and they get scored only from one wave per person, but they have to come and change their rash vest in their circle, and you have one judge who judges them all, and they lose points if they come out of their circle, and all the rest of it. You get people throwing sand at each other. Like it's a real good
Sounds
laugh.
sort of quite fun, which is what we're aiming at.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about you said 4 schools, but we've got 6 secondary schools in our area.
Right.
Would it be possible to sort of invite more, but obviously less numbers?
It would be possible.
Just
to,
just wondering how it would work with your team,
Yeah.
like your events.
It's something I'll look into and I'll review.
I mean, they don't necessarily have to be in a school team. You could just mix them all up, and they could, have a red team, a blue team, a green team instead. But it would just be awkward for me to invite 4 of the secondary
Yeah, I
schools
understand.
as opposed to all of them.
I'll
And some men.
yeah. I'll review that, and I'll review the events on the day, as well as the weather and
Well,
the time.
it's more about the side.
Yeah.
I'm not issue with,
Okay.
No.
We'll cover all those bases.
because we're also going to have a plan in place, because Hale Beach predominantly is flat, which is great if you've got beginners and it's only knee height or grasshopper, but if it is literally mill pond stuff, then we might have to have paddle races and all kind of stuff. But that's something I can work through.
Yeah, sure. Great. Okay.
I hate also, Forest Haven Club, they must have loads of paddle boards and stuff. Do you know what I mean? They
Yeah.
may.
There's something we could do there, isn't there? I mean, I don't want to overcomplicate it,
No.
but I think the tide thing is an issue.
Okay.
Mm.
And I think the two issues I have from this meeting, I walk away with going, wow, you're looking at 100 people, and at the moment you only have one surf instructor, and the tide's coming in. So those two things I think we need to marry and have some kind of idea of what's going to happen.
2 surf instructors.
I'd have a few more if you've got 100 people.
Let me just say, like, a minibus carries, what, 15 kids probably. That would be the maximum really I could get from each school, to be honest.
Yeah.
Apart from Harry, might be able to send a few more.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, again, if I had the 6 schools, that's 90. So it's not going to be over that.
Okay.
Over that.
Something that I could ask for as a favour from you is when the schools actually drive the students to and from the event.
Yeah.
Could I get a forecast of the actual the costings for fuel and things along those lines? It's just relating directly to our assignment, so unless it's too much of an issue to actually
I'll guesstimate.
guesstimate.
I'd guess
You'd be happy with that?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
My bigger issue with that is if you've got that many or 6 or so schools coming in with buses, you might want to have a one-way system and organise the transports when they turn up.
Okay.
But maybe that's been a little bit micromanaged, but
Yeah, no, I think it'll be right. Especially now, because they all turn up at different times anyway, do you know what I mean? We're talking
Yeah.
6 and...
okay.
But obviously, time is getting short, to be honest, because they need to plan, and obviously it's... So really they need some info. Well, I've got a heads of PE meeting on Monday, so I'll mention it then. I'll put the date in and sort of say who we're targeting, how many pupils. But if we could get something out to them before, in that last week, before we break up, so not next week, but the week after,
Okay.
would be
So within 2 weeks, and that would be.
because else then it's Easter and then it's 2 weeks when we come back.
So
We could do it, but it's just nice if they've got it. But like I say, I will mention it to them on Monday and just
before the end of
break
March.
up.
Then it's the 16th now, so before the end of
Yeah.
March. Yeah, that'll be fine. Get you something solid. And so just cover all the bases which you've just mentioned now at the end of the meeting.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming. And it was nice to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Matthew's table.
Take this, Connor.
Did you